Yovetti yugapat sarvam. The person should have knowledge of all things simultaneously. Then it is called jnanam. Next, balam. Shrama prasanga dharanam sarvadharana samarthyam. The one who is able to support his entire creation without any fatigue. See, imagine, these days we don't carry such grocery materials from one city to the other. In the previous days, in 80s, 70s, 90s, if you get tur dal at 1 rupee less in the city, poor people will carry 25 kgs from here to another city. You have to carry both the bags, and you don't want to give that money to the porter. Then the whole purpose of buying tur dal goes away. So you will be carrying both your hands that tur dal, and you will walk that 1 kilometer distance in platform number 11 of Central Station. And your karma will be such that your compartment will be the lost compartment. You will be carrying that tur dal. Now, after carrying that tur dal, if somebody in your family asks you a question, you will get worked up. Don't ask me now. And you will take that and you'll put that sweat. In Chennai, you will keep sweating. On a lighter note, when one Sishya went to the Acharya of Andavan Ashramam, it's a Sri Vaishnava institution where the Acharya was called Tirukkudandai Andavan. To that Acharya he went, and the Acharya asked, from where are you coming? The Sishya said openly, sir, I am coming from Udupi Hotel. So immediately the Acharya said, you have consumed the fruits of somebody's hard work. This person didn't realize what he meant, because he said in that hotel, to test whether the dosa stone is hot, he will take his sweat and put it and check. So you have consumed the fruits of one's hard work. So when you're carrying tur dal till S13 on platform number 11 of Central Station, you are carrying that vastu with you, but you become tired. How is Paramatma? Shrama prasanga dharanam. He supports the entire creation without becoming tired. He's cool. What is that? Cool person, cool guy. So that gunam is called balam. Balam doesn't mean power. Balam means when you don't face fatigue after doing some of the greatest activities. Balam. Jnanam, balam. Third, Aishwaryam. Avyahatachedam sarvaniyantritvam. Ownership over everything. See, how much ever control we have over all our modes of transport, there is a level of uncertainty attached to it. We take the flight. Under what assumption? Yesterday's flight reached its destination, so I am taking this flight. But isn't there uncertainty in that flight as well? Do we even think, how many of us pay attention to the poor air hostess who will be telling, keep this belt here, that mask will come, breathe, don't help. She's very good. She'll say, don't help others. First you help yourself. Your Jivatma has to stay within your body, she will say. We don't pay attention to it, not because we know, because we are of the confidence that nothing will happen to us, right or wrong. But that is uncertainty. Why? That uncertainty is because something is not under our control. But the one who has everything under his control, that gunam is called Aishwaryam. Next, Viryam. Sarvopadanatve sarvadharane sarvaniyamane api vikara rahitatvam. Despite engaging himself in all activities, he remains unchanged and unaffected. See, when you look at the parents of both the girl and the boy after the marriage, they'll be so tired, exhausted. They have carried out so many activities, but there will be a little happiness. Finally, they have been able to get rid of. Finally, they hope so. Somebody asked me, why do parents keep telling, sir, stay together, stay together? Whenever I go to my parents' house, they say, whatever it is, be it the boy or the girl, the parents advise and say, stay together. Why? They are worried if they will come back. So it was so much of money that they have got them abandoned, relinquished. So the Lord who does all his activities, but sarvopadanatve sarvadharane sarvaniyamane api vikara rahitatvam. There is no change in him. He is as fresh as ever. So that is called Viryam. Why I am telling this? Generally we will assume Viryam means valor. Veer, Maharana Pratap. That is not that Veer. Next, Shakti, Sarva Upadanatva Atmika. The one who is able to create the entire universe is called Shakti. Last Gunam, Tejas, Aswadhina Sahakari Anapekshatvam. The one who has got the splendor to create the entire universe happily. When he creates the universe, it is not as if he is creating Mount Everest with lot of effort. He'll just say, let there be Mount Everest. There'll be Mount Everest. Suddenly he'll say, let there be a Marina Trench. I'm bored of hills and peaks. Let there be one deepest point. Marina Trench will come. So the one who's able to create so happily, that gunam is called Tejas. Jnana Bala, Aishwarya Virya, Shakti Tejas. 6 gunas. The first 2 gunas are found in Sankarshana. Spa. That's Sankarshana. Jnana Bala, Aishwarya Virya in Pradyumna. Shakti Tejas, Aniruddha. So 6 gunas, 2 in each of the Vyuha Murtis. Understood? Now, we already have one Murti called Vyuha Vasudeva. I said Paravasudeva becomes Vyuha Vasudeva. Vyuha Vasudeva becomes the 3. So in the Vyuha state, we have 4. Vyuha Vasudeva, Sankarshana, Pradyumna, Aniruddha. That is why Sahasranamam says Vasudevo Brihadbanur. We have Vasudeva. Aniruddho Apratiratha Pradyumno Amita Vikramaha. And we have Sankarshana. 4 Murtis. Chaturmurti, Chaturbahu. What is that Chatur? This Chatur. There are 4. Now, each of these namas, again remember, Vyuha Vasudeva, Sankarshana, Pradyumna, Aniruddha. They become a few other names. What are the Murtis? Keshava, Narayana, Madhava, Govinda, Rishikesha, Padmanabha, Damodara. You have how many such names? 12. Allocate 3 for each Murti. So 3 into 4, 12. You've got 4 Murtis. Vyuha Vasudeva, Sankarshana, Pradyumna, Aniruddha. For each Murti, Keshavaya, Narayana, Madhavaya, Govindaya, Vishnave, Matsudana, Trivikramaya, Vamanaya, Sridharaya Namam, Rishikeshaya Namam, Padmanabhaya Namam, Damodaraya Namaha. You've got 12 namas, Dvadasha Nama. 3 names for each Murti makes it 4 into 3, 12. That is why when you do Sandhya Vandhanam, you think of this particular mantra of Purusha Suktam. How is this related to Purusha Suktam, sir? Confusion. Now, I said in the first 2 mantras, Sahasra Shirisha Purusha, Sahasraksha Sahasrapad, Sabhumim Vishwato Vritva Atyatishta Dashangulam. First mantra. Purushaye Vedagum Sarvam Yad Bhutam Yadcha Bhavyamutamritatvasya Ishanaha Yadanne Rohati. Second mantra. In this, it mentions about Narayana. In this mantra, Yetavanasya Mahima, Atojjayaguscha Purushaha, Padosya Vishwa Bhutani, Tripadasya Amritam Divi. There, the Purusha Shabdam refers to Aniruddha Murti. Not Narayana Murti, Aniruddha Murti. Why? Aniruddha is the one who sustains. What does he sustain? The created world. What does the created world denote? A quarter of the Lord's creation. Padosya Vishwa Bhutani. A quarter of the universe that you see is a quarter of his creation. What you haven't seen, O Astikas of Bengaluru International Center, what you have not seen is the 3/4 of it. So aspire for the 3/4. For that you have to leave this 1/4. You're able to get the meaning? So to go to that 3/4, you have to leave this 1/4. Padosya Vishwa Bhutani, Tripadasya Divi. Now, which Divya Desham can I connect? See, if you go to Nachiyar Kovil, if you go to Tamil Nadu, why are you giving examples of only Tamil Nadu, sir? Udupi will also come soon, don't worry. So let's not get region specific, language specific. Bhakti and Jnanam is beyond language and borders. If you go to Nachiyar Kovil is famous for brass lamps. It is very close to Kumbhakonam and a small town called Kodaivasal. It's called Kodavasal. If you go to that place, you will find Vyuhamurti Narayana. He's called Vasudeva with Vanjulavalli. Mahalakshmi is called Vanjulavalli. You will have Brahma, Sankarshana, Pradyumna and Aniruddha. So Shilailangu Punna, beautiful Divyadesham. So that mantra, I feel this particular line, Padosya Vishwa Bhutani, Tripadasya Amritam Divi denotes Nachiyar Kovil. Now let's go to the next mantra. What is the next mantra? Tripadurdhva Udait Purushaha, Padosyeha Bhavat Punaha, Tatho Vishwang Vyakramat, Sashanannashane Abhi. So this is the mantra. So it says Tripadurdhva Udait Purushaha. What does Tripadurdhva Udait Purushaha mean? Padam, Padartham. So this Lord who has created the universe also measures it. Tripadurdhva Udait Purushaha. See, in many houses you will cook food, but you may not want to taste that food. You will call somebody else. You are very confused whether our food can be consumed by us or not. But this universe, which is a product of his creation, has been measured also by him. Tripadurdhva Udait Purushaha, Padosyeha Bhavat Punaha, Tato Vishwang Vyakramat. For which the commentator states, I will read out the commentary for this and explain. Tatparyam. He says, Vasudeva Sankarshana Pradyumna Rupaha Tripad Paramapurushaha Narayanaha Urdhve Paramavyomi Sri Vaikunthe Udgachata. So that Lord from Sri Vaikuntham has come as Vyuha Vasudeva after having performed the duties of Aniruddha, of Pradyumna and Sankarshana. He becomes Aniruddha. Asya Narayanasya Padaha Chaturthom Shaha. Of the 4 parts that you know, Chaturtho Amshaha, 1/4 of him, Aniruddhakyaha, Sarvam Jagat Ratum Punaha Iha Abhavat. So he creates this universe, he sustains this universe. Tataha Saha Bhagavan Yoga Nidravasane Swasyaiva Tadrupena Bahubhavana Sankalpam Akarot. How does he create? See, generally when I say create, we are used to those basic Amar Chitra Kathas. Brahma creates, Vishnu protects. That comes in the next level of Srishti. There are 2 levels of Srishti, Vyashti Srishti and Samashti Srishti. See, if we believe that Brahma exists from the start, then we have to prove where did this Brahma come from. So though he is called Swayambhu, he comes in the next level of creation. How do we understand this, sir? Brahma also creates. We know so many bhajans, sir. Brahma is called the creator. Amar Chitra Katha says Brahma is the creator. But you say that Aniruddha creates. How do we understand? Aniruddha creates and gives it to Brahma to complete the finish. How? I generally give this example. Imagine the son or the daughter who has never ever known which side the kitchen lies. Tells the mother or father, today I am going to cook. The parents will be first of all shocked. First of all, the child may not know in which direction the kitchen is. And second, they have to consume the product of that cooking. You will never discourage your children. Now, what will the mother or father do? They will ask that child in a very, very diplomatic way. What are you planning to cook? Rasam. So, the mother or father will surely know that the child doesn't know how to make rasam. And the mother or father will surely know that the child will have an ego problem asking how to make rasam. So what the mother or father would do is, they will keep the mashed tamarind pulp in 1 cup. They will keep a few mustard and jeera for the tempering. They will keep the curry leaves in 1 cup. Then they will keep the rasam powder in 1 cup. They will keep some hing in 1 cup. Asafotida. Somewhere they should have learned Sanskritam. Asafotida. So that asafotida will be in 1 cup. Then little salt to taste. then they will have, there is one special vessel available in the south of India to make rasam. It is called Iyachombu. So they will keep that vessel ready. They will keep the lighter ready. And then they would have mentioned the steps. Step 1, light the gas. And then keep the vessel. That's all, it will melt. See, this Iyachombu will melt. So they have to tell, put that tamarind pulp in that vessel, add 3/4 cup of water, and then keep that on the gas stove. So they have to mention all the steps, and finally they'll say that it will start boiling from the center, and that is when you have to switch off the gas and then add some coriander leaves. This is called Seimurai. How to do it? Recipe. So the mother or father would have come, done all of this, and then kept the recipe book, and then the child will walk like the queen or the king. Raja Raja, Raja Adi Raja, Raja Martanda, Raja Gambhira, Raja Kulottunga, Vettaya Raja, Parak. The child will walk, finally put everything together, and what will be the name given by the mother or father to the neighbor? My child today completely did rasam. 99% was done by the mother and father. Just that last 2-3 steps the child came and did. But the credit goes to the child. Same is with Srishti. Shastram says, Aniruddha does the creation. Finally, he will give a book called Shastram to Brahma, to his son. He'll say, all ingredients are ready. Look at the Shastra Pustakam and finish the final seasoning. And then he told the press, Brahma did all the creation. You're able to get how this message got conveyed? So, if you're listening, now you may wonder, is that approved by you, sir? Amar Chitra Katha says, Amar Chitra Katha is a good Katha. That's all, you have to stop there. Amar Chitra Katha cannot become a Pramana Pustaka. Shastram says, Aniruddha does. Aniruddho apratiratah pradyumno amita vikramaha. Now, in this creation, what do we see? Sashanannashane abhi. We see ashana, sashana, anashana. So, ashana means food. Sashana, that which eats food, consumes food. Who are those which consume food? We. We are the sashana. Anashana, that which doesn't consume food. Stones, bricks, rocks, they all don't consume. And even that, to a large extent, there is a demarcation here. I'll tell you what. So this is called anashana. So you have got sashana and anashana. Those that consume food and those that don't consume food. So by this definition, it is animate and inanimate. Because inanimate rocks and all won't consume. But there is another interpretation given to this. Ashanena sahavartata iti sashanam jangama vastu. Jangama means mobile. We are all mobile. So we all eat dogs, cats, all animals, reptiles. We are all mobile. So we eat. What is anashana? Anashanasya nastiti anashanam sthavaram vastu. That which doesn't move. What is sthavaram? That which is fixed. What is example for sthavaram? Stone. Trees. Very good. We include trees in sthavaram. But you cannot call it inanimate. You're able to get the definition, because if you don't put water, so sir, yesterday in Purusha Sukta Upanyasam, he said, Sthavaram means trees and that doesn't eat food. So let us not water our plants. So if you go by the definition of food, that which consumes and doesn't consume, then rocks will come under inanimate. If you go by Sthavara Jangamam, that which eats from its own place. See, trees cannot come to our house and eat. It can maximum stretch its roots. You have to water the roots. Whereas we can go to corner house and eat. Whereas trees can't go. Sthavara Jangamam. So this is the next part. So what Divya Desham can we give example of this? Food. God doesn't need food. Thank God, sir. That is why we don't keep food to God in our house. No. Whatever food we consume should be blessed by Him. That is why we should always offer whatever we have towards God. Now, was he hungry at any point in time? In Srimad Bhagavatam, there is a charitra. It says that when Pandavas left Hastinapura and they left to the forests, Duryodhana wanted to keep troubling them. What he did was he called Durvasa Maharshi and said, Durvasa, I've heard you've got too many Sishyas. They will also feel bored in your ashrama. Take them on an excursion. Immediately Durvasa asked, which excursion can I go to? Where should I go? Should I go to Bidadi? There is one play area there, right? Near in Bidadi. What is it called? Wonderla. Should I go to Wonderla? Black Thunder? Where should I go? No, you go to Panchapandava's ashramam. Panchapandava had one boon given by Surya, that they will have a patram called Akshaya Patram. It was like the Insta pot of those days. But there was a rider with that particular Akshaya Patram. If you use that for cooking, wash it and keep it before the sunset, till the next sunrise you cannot cook. And Draupadi had one rule told by Kunti, 50% of whatever she cooks should go to Bhima. The remaining food only the four Pandavas and Draupadi have to distribute. So she cooked, she served to all of them, she washed that and was resting. Meanwhile, Durvasa came and he spoke to Yudhishthira, and Yudhishthira, without due consultation, he said, please come and eat. Not just alone, with his entire retinue of Sishyas. And he said, I'll go take bath and come. Then he came and informed Draupadi, Draupadi, keep palak ready, keep dal rice ready, watch Master Chef, keep all these things ready, we will have. Draupadi said, how can I keep them ready? Akshaya Patram is washed. You should have consulted me. You never consult, Mr. Yudhishthir. And Yudhishthir said, what do I do now? You don't have to worry. I have one person who will always give a solution to my problem. So she immediately thought of, the beauty was Krishna arrived immediately. He was on his way to the ashram. He knocked at the door. And Draupadi opened the door and she was so surprised and happy to see Krishna. She asked Krishna, what should I do for you? He said, I am hungry. Draupadi said, I don't know, why is my day like this? Anybody who knocks at my door is only telling I'm hungry. Krishna, don't you know my problem? Akshay Patra has been washed and I've left it in the kitchen to dry. Krishna said, I'm 100% sure you would have not washed it well. It will be like our house utensils. So he immediately said, bring that. She said, I used prill. Bring. There was one little spinach and one rice. Shakhanam is the word. Some people say it could be a leaf or rice. Krishna said, this is enough. Krishna, that is covered with that prill. Don't worry, because in our washing detergents, there will be true lemon. Only in our drinking juice, it will be artificial lemon flavor. So Krishna said, I will manage. And he consumed that leaf. When he consumed that leaf, all the stomachs of who had arrived with Durvasa felt that they were full. They also had a burp. They said, we can't eat in this state. She would have cooked multiple varieties. We'll escape from here. So the Lord who doesn't require food, with one little piece of food, was able to give solace to his devotees. Sashana, Ashane, Abhi. With food, without food. So this particular line should denote Krishna of Dwaraka. Sashana, Nashane, Abhi. Next. Tasmad Virada Jayata. Virajo Adhi Purushaha. Sajato Atyarichyata. Paschad Bhumi Matho Puraha. So what does Tasmat mean? From that Adi Purushat, Vyaparavataha Purushat, Virada Jayata. From that Purusha, from that particular, which Narayana? Aniruddha Narayana. I said first two mantras talk about Paravasudeva Narayana. Next is Aniruddha Narayana, who's in this creation. So the forthcoming mantras, we will have the word Purusha, which denotes Aniruddha Narayana. Very soon it will change. Now, how does Srishti happen? For this Srishti, let us understand that there are three words that you have to understand. Prakriti, Mahat, Ahankaram. Prakriti, Mahat, Ahankaram. How will this look, sir? We don't exactly know how this will look. Because these are all in an unmanifested state. They are not vyaktam. They are not clear. Prakriti, Mahat, Ahankaram. Sir, Ahankaram? Ahankar means arrogance. No. Anahattai ahamaga ninaithal ahankaram. In Shastram, there is a different connotation to ahankaram. In the colloquial language, ahankaram means garvam, arrogance. That is ahankaram. Whereas in Shastram, anaham becomes aham. This Jivatma belongs to whom? Paramatma. But if we assume that Jivatma belongs to us, then the tendency is called ahankaram. This aham belongs to Paramatma. But I think that that aham belongs to me. So it is called ahankar. It is not garvam. This ahankaram, what did I tell? Prakriti, Mahat, ahankaram. This ahankaram will go disturb one complex object of 3 gunas. I should not use the word object. For a minute you assume it's an object. It has got 3 gunas. Sattva, Rajo, Tamo gunam. Imagine they are in one equilibrium state. You have seen this game called bowling. They will take one ball. There will be many bottles there. It has to go and hit. It will disturb all the balls. Only when all the balls fall, that means you are a great bowler. Similarly, this Prakriti, Mahat, Ahankaram will go disturb 3 gunas. Sattva, Rajo, Tamo gunam. Because of this disturbance, 3 Ahankaras will be born. Satvika ahankaram, Rajasa ahankaram, Tamasa ahankaram. Please pay attention. If you don't pay attention to this, forthcoming mantras will all be OHT, overhead transmission. Okay. Now this Tamasa ahankaram will give rise to Pancha Bhutas. Akashad Vayuhu, Vayor Agnihi, Agner Apaha, Adbhyav Prithvi. You have got 5 Panchabhutas. Akasham. What is Akasham? Sky. Stand up on the bench. From now onwards, in Siddhantam, philosophy class, if you have attended, you should not use this word sky. Space. Because when I say Akasham, you should not look up. All this is Akasham. Space is Akasham. This is all Akasham. Akashad Vayuhu. What pervades space? Air. Vayuhu. Then comes Agni, fire. From fire comes water. From water comes Prithvi. Five bhutas you have understood. Now, how do these 5 bhutas get manifested? It is called Panchikarana Prakriya. Pay attention again. First, the Akasha Tattvam, 50% will remain to itself. The remaining 50% will get distributed into 4. 12.5, 12.5, 12.5, 12.5. Then from Akasham comes Vayu. Vayu will retain 50% of its original Swarupam with itself. The remaining 50% it will distribute into 12.5, 12.5, 12.5, 12.5. Imagine there is a circle. You have divided it across that center. You will have 2 semicircles. In that one semicircle, you divide it into 4. You will have 1/8, then correct? 1/8, 1/8, 1/8, 1/8. Then only you will get it 1/2. So for each Panchabhuta, you will have it. Now the 12.5% of Akasham will interact with 12.5% of Agni. 12.5% of Agni will interact with 12.5% of water. 12.5% of water will interact with 12.5% of earth. So this intermingling will only help in you understanding that tattva. Remember, Shastram says that 50% of Agni, I told you Agni, right? 50% will retain with Agni. That 50% of the original Swarupa of Agni you can never see. Only the 12.5% of Agni, when it comes in combination with air, you can see. This is called Panchikaranam. It's called Panchikarana Prakriya. If you want to learn Bhagavad Gita, Brahma Sutras one day, only if you understand this, you can understand that. Just like that, getting one book from library. What are you? Gita. Who is that Gita? Next house, mommy. You can never understand Gita. Krishna brings the essence of Upanishads in 700 shlokas. And we have Dashopanishad and 4 other Upanishads, 14, which is very important to understanding. Imagine 3 Morrison and Boyd books. He is bringing it in 1 hour lecture to Arjuna. How complex it will be. Do not do the disaster of touching Bhagavad Gita first. You will not understand. If you have understood it, you may have understood it wrongly. Because only when you understand Panchikarana Prakriya, Krishna will explain his Srishti there. In 1 shloka, he will complete the entire Srishti. And you will have 2 lines in that English translation. You will by heart that. But you won't understand. It's called Panchikaranam. Namaskaram Astikas. I'm tentatively scheduled to travel to Abu Dhabi and Dubai in the mid-February, to 7 cities in the countries of Australia and New Zealand, namely Adelaide, Perth, Brisbane, Sydney, Melbourne, Auckland and Wellington between the 25th of February and the 25th of March. I'm scheduled to travel to Singapore either in the month of April or January. And later, I'll be rendering discourses in New Jersey, Boston, Maryland, Pittsburgh, and then in St. Louis and Indianapolis in the month of July. I'm sure you would love to share this message with your friends and relatives.
Dear Astika reader, I'm happy to be authoring a 2-part book on the Ramayana in English. The first part is slated for release in the year 2024. The book aims to recreate and retell the Ramayana of Valmiki, conforming to the ancient commentaries and other allied literature. To receive notifications of the book release, kindly register with www.deshikadaya.org/books. Namaskaram.